How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to talk about the first half of the summer campaign. And funny enough, I had made the video yesterday talking about, the advancement notice and all the banners we're getting. I still do think most of those characters will be part of the banner schedule eventually. I am a little surprised that one character is left out with what's going to be included in the celebration. So we'll talk about that afterwards. And we have some new characters that are going to be in the banner schedule that I forgot about or didn't think they were going to be coming a little sooner than expected, I guess you could say. Or they're kind of in the right time frame, but I didn't expect them to all be cramped in at once. But let's go ahead and start talking about it. If you're enjoying all the stuff that's happening, if you're ready for the showcase that I still haven't done, there's a lot happening at the current moment. Plus the fact that 5.1 interlude, I still gotta stream that. 5.1, I still gotta stream that. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff we gotta do eventually. But we are going to see that our characters that we will be getting are going to be Fire Kanzaki, Fire Mari, and we're also going to be seeing Dark Yuki. So you already know I gotta grab her. And then we also have Thunder Waki as well, with an exchange Tama, which is really cool. So for the most part, when it comes to looking at Mari and Kanzaki, both of these characters, I did already talk about them in the previous video, but to give a quick sum of what they do, they work around the shadow clone mechanic, where it gives them a buff for their attack, and only that, it nullifies the attacks to yourself and also prevents incoming debuffs, which is really nice. Both of them do get buffed for their EX skill if you use it while you have shadow clones. One will not have any buffs associated with it, but if you do have shadow clones, she gives herself crit rate up, crit damage up, and mind's eye to herself, so that she's able to do her attack, which has a pretty nice base attack at the highest level, and then has a 50% damage modifier for HP. Kanzaki is going to be really nice. She's going to be the other version of Yotsuha for the most part, if you don't have her or any of the fire substitute units, because she will be able to get fire attack up and crit damage up. No crit rate though, but fire and crit damage up, and can do an attack when she has the shadow clone on, which is all really nice. Both of them do start with shadow clone immediately from the start of battle, so they will not be taking damage if you have them in the front line, which is all really cool. But other than that, that's basically it. We have, Mari being a fire attacker, and then we have Kanzaki being a really nice fire buff for both sporting the shadow clone mechanic, which allows them to be able to tank a couple of hits. This does have a max of 2 uses on both of them, both being with relatively high SP usage. And then not only that, if I am not wrong, if you have shadow clone on Kanzaki, you do get it halved, if I'm not wrong. Yes, you do get it halved, so it becomes 7 SP per EX skill, which is pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie, for the most part. So these are going to be the fire units. Realistically, the Kanzaki will be the main character you would probably want, just because it is going to be cheap buffs for the fire team, and you're also going to be able to tank a bit with Kanzaki herself, but that is if you're invested in the fire team specifically. The next characters to talk about realistically are going to be Yuki and Waki, which I am very excited that a Yuki is coming out. Yuki is going to be the premium dark fielder. Previously we had Iroha, who is our dark fielder, but she was a regular one, the one that's permanent, the one that stays up for a very long time, and has the 60% boost, if I'm not wrong. This one is going to be the 8-turn boost, and is also going to be the 80% version of the dark zone, so she will be the dark fielder. Not only that, she will also have AoE dispel, so this means that enemies can't buff up, because you'll be able to strip that off of them already, which is a really good 2-in-1. Not only that, she will also be having a self-skill use recovery, and if I am not wrong, this means that she's able to use this more than 4 times, I'm assuming. Yeah, max up to 6 times. Okay, I see it here. 2 uses can go up to 6. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you get to have 2 extra from this, and you get to get more SP, which is very cool in my honest opinion. Just making sure that there's no like reduction in SP for anything like that. But for the most part, this Yuki specifically is just going to be the premium dark fielder, which is all really good. After removing buffs from an enemy, you will get 8 turns of party dark attack up, which is absolutely insane. That is going to be a long time, and that is also going to last up until the field is gone as well. So this is going to be a really nice character to have for dark teams. And then the Waki is going to be very exciting as well. She will sport the hit count buff immediately on the front line, because Not only that, she can give everybody on the team besides herself 6 SP, which means that she is going to be a pretty nice support, and this is something that you can throw on any Waki of your choosing for the most part. And then lastly, for the last one, or the EX skill, you are going to be able to use Party Thunder Attack Up plus a nice amount of damage on top of it, 10 hits and 50% HP damage modifier. This character specifically is going to be more of a dungeon clearer and also OD drive builder for the most part, and she's just going to be really good at taking out those dungeons, being able to hit multi characters. The AoE attack, 10 hits, that's a lot of hits for OD. She has a lot of damage. It's just really good for dungeon clearing. Same thing goes for hit count up. She gets this at base level if you're in the front line, which is really good. And then at limit break 3, she gets 5 SP in the front line after every battle starts. So if you want somebody to literally just one shot every single how do you say it, wave in the tier dungeon, or any dungeon for that fact, this Waki is definitely going to be one of them, just because she's basically buffing herself before she does the damage, and she's also buffing her teammates, which is all really good stuff. These characters realistically aren't the craziest must pulls at the current moment. We have a lot of characters that I talked about in the previous video that should be coming out relatively soon, like Unison Ruka. Looking at, what are the other big boys that we were talking about yesterday? You probably have to go watch that video just because I'm drawing a blank at the current moment. But we do have some really good characters coming out very soon. Oh, Irene is definitely one of them because of the Pierce crit if you don't have Inori. But if you are invested in a fire team, this specific Kanzaki would be really nice because, like I said, she's going to be a little bit of a nice tank. She's also going to be able to support you as well if you don't have Yotsuha, which is all really good stuff. Not a necessarily need for either of these characters, in my honest opinion. This Mari's kind of good just because she is going to allow herself to just get a bunch of buffs to herself if she's in Shadow Clone, and that has nice amount of damage on top of it. But these are all nice things to have, not a thing that you necessarily need for the most part. So these characters could potentially be a skip if you're not caring about the fire team, nor are you building into the fire team. And then for Yuki and Waki, Waki is just really good for dungeon clearing, not necessarily needed in the most part. There's not really many Memorial in the future that Waki has that you need to have this character for when it comes to moves, besides probably this really cool SP recovery skill that only costs 6 SP to transfer 6 SP. No, not to the whole team. Oh, that is my bad. That is to a single ally. That is my bad. This is for a single ally, not the whole party. That would have been a little busted. But yeah, she gives an ally 6 SP for the cost of 6 SP. So it's a net 0. You're just transferring it from one character to the other for the most part. Technically, that would be really cool if you have a dungeon clear and she uses all her 6 uses for the most part. And then guess what? You have this to start funneling all the skill points to people that still have their EX skill. So that's all really cool stuff. Necessarily for the dark team, Yuki would be a nice fielder for that team just because she will have the premium field. She'll have AoE dispel, all really good stuff. But like I said before, a lot of these things aren't necessarily a need, more so a want. I do think Yuki would be a little bit one of the more special and more priority characters. Same thing goes with Kanzaki, but this Kanzaki is only important for those that don't have Yotsuha, while someone like Yuki is going to be a character that you're going to want for the dark team if you're heavily investing in the dark team for the most part. Other than that, most of these characters are pretty much a skip. Let's go ahead and get into the rest, which is the next bit of events that we're going to look at. One being that we are going to get chapter 5 part 1 after August 8th, which is pretty exciting for the most part. We're going to be getting a brand new event story, and we're also going to be getting an event story recommendation. I have not done this story event, so that means this will have to be a stream very soon as well. So yippee. We're also going to get a free quartz gift, 3,000 quartz, which is all really good. And then we're also going to be receiving a 10-day login bonus that gives us another 10-fold, which is all good. And then log in any 10 days during the campaign period for 1 SS guaranteed 10-row recruitment, which is all really nice. And this seems like this is going to be the SS1. No, chapter 5 part 1 SS guaranteed tickets. Okay, that's a different thing. So yeah, that is going to be a free SS as a part of the celebration on top of the 3 10-pulls, if I'm not wrong. No, 2 10-pulls that we're going to be getting alongside this banner. And then we're all going to be seeing the crafting missions and also the Sheik Start campaign. I do not know what this is, but we're going to be getting the missions that give us, you know, all the materials that we get for like defeating a random boss. The next ones are going to be a new score boss, of course. Second season of Arts Battle. Still want to finish my current season and try to get as high as I can on leaderboard. We're going to be seeing Kaki, Mari, Waki, and Yuki all in the same, not banner, but together. So they will be sharing pity, which is all really good. You could probably go for Yuki and Waki if you're going to be going for the dark team, or if you're going to be working on the fire team, and then pick up the other characters vice versa. If I had to pick one character from each one, you would pull off of pity. Of course, it'd probably be Kanzaki for the most part for the fire team, and then Yuki, of course, for the dark team, just because she has that premium field for the dark team. We are going to be receiving 23 rolls on the Chapter 5 Part 1 release celebration. This has Suit Tama on it and Suit Megami, so yes, it has basically every SS up to date for the most part. And then you get to pick your character for the base outfit SS selection ticket. I probably will make a video on this, but realistically, some of the main choices that aren't too hard to look at: Aoi SS1, Yingsha SS1, and well, honestly, that might be it. Those just have so much value on top of them, especially if you have their other Memoria. Well, Yingsha is only SS1, and she's just such a big character if you don't have hit count already. So Yingsha would definitely be probably the #1 choice, but I might make a video talking about that in more detail. We're also going to be seeing SS guarantee recruitment ticket, or recruitment banner, which is a paid banner, an Arts Battle banner, and a wish list recruitment. I'm not gonna lie, those wish list recruitments are kind of busted. I'm not gonna, you just get to have a character that you don't already have guaranteed. This is a really good banner. If you are going to pay for this game or spend money in this game, that is the banner. That is such a good banner because you get guaranteed what you want for the most part, which is all really nice. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this celebration. It is going to be a little bit more on the summon side with, of course, the main event story, but at least we're getting new main story, the score battle as always, and then of course the recommendation plus the brand new event story. So we're getting quite a bit, but other than that, that's gonna be for this video. I'm gonna be looking at the showcases soon, art battle soon, stream soon, all that different type of stuff. Yeah, we got a lot to do. But for the most part, these characters are a little bit less on the priority of the scale of how important they are. Some of them are really nice, like Kanzaki and Yuki, but they're not necessarily a need for the most part, if you already have a well-made team. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.